Hello, well met. Welcome to the pre-game hangout for the next episode of Greymantle. Jen is going to be here a little bit late. Allie is called away to another quest and will not be here this evening. But we have the three of us, and it's going to be good. We were just talking about losing things in and amongst our many books and papers.
Yeah, my notes are gone. I don't know where they are in the stacks. They're right here and they are not here.
Yep.
So my notes from this game are all on post-it notes that are this color. So at least I can look around the room and find post-it notes that are this color and hope that they have my notes on them.
Every time I
this
try
is
to
not
color
one of them.
code notes. Yeah, that's about what happens every time I try to color code my notes, is that I go, oh, I can't find the actual notepad with the color I need. This one's right here. And so I start writing and then I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh, and so what happens is I do the opposite, where I will think I'm color coding things and I'll put all of my notes like from this campaign. I think there's one over here that's this color. Hey, look at that. Yes. Breaking into the Shadow Knives layer right there is on this notebook. But what'll happen is that this will be the only pad of post-it notes I can get to when I need a post-it for something else. And so, yes, all of my notes for this campaign are on this color pad, but so are like 8 other things. So not every bright blue post-it is going to work for what I think it is. I try real hard to color code and doesn't always work. But then I have notebooks that say things like evil plants and stuff.
Evil plants.
Evil plants.
And
Hell
stuff.
Yeah.
No, that's
I'm like, I don't even know what all is in here, but yeah. It does in fact contain evil plants. Some of them are even mine.
I was just looking for a specific piece of art and I was starting to despair, and then I was like, no, here it is.
Okay.
My sketchbook can't even save me because it doesn't have the note. No, it just...
Okay, but you have a sketchbook, which like implies an ability with visual art. So I'm already like...
Yeah, I had briefly thought about attempting to learn to draw. And then I was like, that's silly, Eric. Why would you do that?
I tried. I took lessons. I am hopeless. I am beyond the ability of even a very good teacher and have been apologized to by very good teachers. My talents lie elsewhere, and that is okay. I am happy to make money writing books and singing songs and performing in theater and take that money and hand it to other people so that I can have the visual art that I desire.
Yeah, I 100% believe that it is indeed fun, and that's why I would want to do it. And then I just look at my time schedule of what I'm expected to do with the time that I have, and I'm like, well, I guess I don't really have time to do this. One of these days. One of these days.
I believe in you.
Okay, I appreciate that.
The only reason I'm any good at drawing is because I was that kid who, the entirety of math class, it's like, hey, here's what we're supposed to be doing. I have written what's on the board. Now what? Oh, we're going over this again? We're going over this again? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doodling in the notes.
I wrote fan fiction.
Yeah, I couldn't write words and listen to words. Like my brain doesn't function.
Oh, you were
like
listening to the math teacher. I'm sorry. That's what I missed.
Listening. My doodles were my study aids. They actually legitimately were, because if I could not find the note I needed, I'd go, what was I drawing that day? That one.
So I don't draw and doodle like that, but I very similarly used visual cues to remind me of what notes in school were like, because I would remember what color I wrote the notes in.
That's
like,
good.
Oh, this is in pink, and I did big bubble letters at the top of the page. Like that I remember. So that
the actual information?
Not so much, but I can find it in my notebook if I remember that I wrote it in pink. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Every time I try to color code things, it just becomes a rainbow of mess. And I'm just like, okay. I tried. I tried.
No, color coding
So-
is one of the few things that I can use for organizational purposes. I am a hot mess, top to bottom, and everything is chaos, but I can find, if I remember what color I did it in, that I can at least access the information. Hence, all things D&D are bright blue.
Yeah, I keep getting notepads about this size and going, yeah, I'll remember what's on them. I don't remember what's on them. This is Dragon Age. I don't know where my D&D stuff is. This is not helpful.
Not helpful.
Nope, that's more Dragon Age.
And sometimes I open a notebook and I see stuff like this and I'm like, I have no idea what this means. I figured it out, but I was like, what is in this notebook? I don't know.
One of my personal favorite notes I made for myself was something to the effect of bees. No context,
No.
just bees.
Just bees, yeah. You know, I'll tell you something interesting. So I make homebrew items to give out to people, and I build them in D&D Beyond so that they could be reflected on your character sheet. And like, I was working on Oriana's dagger. Do you remember finding Oriana's dagger way back in the day? You found this kind of wicked looking dark black dagger with like a
Yeah, that
ruby
fun
at the
one.
hilt. Yeah.
The
She's
savage one.
never used it, but it's there. And it's basically a vicious dagger. But I went in to like add some things to it. And the way it's programmed, normally a vicious weapon does 7 extra damage when you get a critical hit, right? That's just how it works. In D&D Beyond, it's programmed to do 2d6 additional damage when you do a critical hit. The thing is, the average result of 2d6 is 7.
Okay.
So this means one of two things in my mind. One, whoever programmed that didn't get the memo about how much damage it's supposed to do and just put in like, oh, okay, so it's about 7, because damage is often expressed in D&D as here's the average, and you can roll for it if you really want to. Like for monsters, it's to quicken combat, right?
Yeah.
Or the vicious dagger initially in design did 2d6 damage on a crit, and they changed it before they released the actual 5th edition. But whoever programmed this either A, didn't know that, or B, left it in intentionally as a way of like, meh, this is how it should have been.
Okay,
Anyway,
see,
I find
is
that delightful.
This is a one shot I'm going to run someday in Shadowrun, where the party is going to break into headquarters to find all the original files to find out which of those two things it is. Geek Girl Con, I'm coming for you.
Oh my God.
That's exactly the kind of ridiculous one shot I would absolutely run.
Programming error or intentional sabotage?
Who knows? I mean, yes, either one.
Yep.
No, this one's Pokemon. No. No.
I'm starting to play in an actual in-person D&D game this weekend, which I'm still like, we're doing that now? We get to actually play at a table with our friends and roll real dice and everything. And one of the conditions of my joining the party is I am coming in the place of someone who's been there for years who has moved away, and they needed someone with healing in their skill set. And so I'm playing a cleric, but she's like the saltiest cleric ever.
Bring her in, make her play the cleric. Yep.
Yeah. She did not get a choice but to be devoted to this deity because the deity's annoying and wouldn't let her say no. And Sean and McGuire offered to write up my deity and create this deity for me. And let me tell you, if the Hugo winningest person you've ever met in your life offers to write backstory for your D&D character,
yeah, you should probably let her.
Say yes.
Say
yes. The files came in today and I'm like, this is amazing.
That's
this
just
is
awesome.
Amazing.
How obnoxious is this deity?
I mean, not to invoke the turf in chief, but you know, the whole like Hogwarts letters coming down the chimney and in through every
Oh.
window. If you try to say no, it reaches that level of like, no is not an option.
I
I
see.
wasn't really asking. This deity is a hero who died in battle and was just sure that had there been a healer present, he would still be alive to save the day. So when he sees someone who might have potential as a healer, gosh darn it, they're gonna do that.
I died. I'm making it everyone else's problem.
Correct.
I am so excited for you. Like, that's
Yeah,
gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. And Saturday is gonna be an amazing day because I have D&D in the morning. I'm emceeing a roller derby game at night.
Ooh.
And while all that is going on, the Seattle Kraken will be playing game 6. So it is
That's
blue
hockey,
sequins and that is hockey. That is hockey.
Point for
The-
Forda.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I am the least sports savvy person I know.
It's totally fine.
I don't like most normie sports, but hockey is
But hockey's
special.
fun because people bash each other off of the not the stands, the freaking
The board.
Into,
They
into the
do.
walls.
There was much I was there last night. They won 7-2. And
Great.
there was much. Yeah, it was great. It was great. 10 out of
Just shy
10.
of blood sport.
I mean, there sometimes is bleeding, but yeah.
The Kraken is doing remarkably well. This is their second year of existence, and they're in the second round of the playoffs.
And
So-
they're up 2-1.
So to translate that for Forda, they're doing remarkably well, and people in Seattle are very excited.
Like the national media is like they're playing with
Such as
house
Manda.
money now.
See,
So, and I'm a season
see,
ticket holder, so
that part I understand. When you just started at, in a league, you're almost never gonna win.
yeah.
But to come in out of nowhere and just kick down doors is awesome.
And last year we were exactly as terrible as a new team is supposed to be. And then this year the team came back and they're like, all right, we had our one bad year, LFG. And they really have just been amazing and phenomenal. And they're having a good time. And so everyone in the audience is having a good time. I've made friends with the social media team that handles the mascot. So like their big fursuit troll
Beautiful.
knows who I am, which is pretty fun. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, their mascot's a troll. Like
But they're called the Kraken.
the Kraken.
Mhm.
We have a giant tentacle that like comes down from the ceiling and like reaches up through the ice. It's pretty cool.
Yes, but the mascot's a troll.
Yes, because Seattle. Like you couldn't get a giant Kraken to walk around the arena. It
But
just
you
wouldn't
could
be.
put a person in a Kraken suit. That'd be fun.
I mean, that would be interesting.
Or several people in a Kraken suit.
Yeah, it would take like 8
Exactly.
people to be in a Kraken suit.
Well, technically just 4.
Technically.
Do Krakens have 8 legs or 10?
I guess it depends on what
Okay, I'm
mythology
gonna
we're
have to
talking
count
about.
now. I'm gonna Google that.
I guess that's fair because either your Kraken's an octopus or your Kraken's a squid.
Yeah.
Or your
And-
Kraken is a giant weird monster from Clash of the Titans.
Which is
I
kind of
actually
where we
never
are.
saw that one.
We are
Okay,
very
well,
much at like Kraken as cryptid.
mhm.
That's
Like
fair.
we like creeping out hockey fans from other cities. The fun thing that happened last night is the team they're playing against right now is the Dallas Stars, which used to be the Minnesota North Stars, but that's a whole nother story.
Mhm.
And their big color is green and our color is blue. And they gave us these LED smart wristbands that would light up depending on what part of the arena you're in and like would do different cool things. And at the beginning of the game, they're like stars and everything lit up in Dallas color green, like can't see shining in the deep. And then they all went black and then came back up dark blue. And the rest of the arena was completely dark. And I was like, oh, that was good.
Mm.
Make it creepy. Make the Texas fans frightened.
Yeah, the mind games are important, you know?
Yes.
Especially for home games.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, we won 7-2, which is
Yeah,
like barely even a hockey score.
that's remarkable.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I was very glad I was there. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Now I'm flashing back to like my years in marching band, and it's like, you know, that's where we went wrong. That's where we went wrong all those years. We didn't have the intimidation factor.
Need
Our
the
hockey team
intimidation
actually
factor.
has a marching band.
Wonderful.
We have a marching band.
Yeah, they perform outside the venue
It was amazing.
shortly before the game. Do they also perform like during the game and stuff?
Sometimes they do some stuff during the game. The big thing though is after the game, if we won, if you come out the exits on that one side, it's like a big dance party in the plaza.
Nice.
And my partner always has to like yank, because I jump up on a bench immediately, right? I'm like, yes, please. I grew up New Orleans adjacent. I know how to celebrate when there's a marching band. I got in trouble yesterday. They're like, no, we have to go home. It's after, because we had a kid with us, and it's the middle of the night at this point. It was way past kiddo's bedtime. But I'm like, but I want
marching
to stay
band.
and celebrate. There's someone is playing a drum in my
There's
presence.
a trombone. There is a trombone
Exactly.
somewhere, and I hear it.
I hear it. And my partner's like, no, we gotta go home. Okay, go home.
I always wanted to learn how to play brass instrument.
I want to learn to play
playing
drums,
woodwinds.
which is why Anji is a drummer, because we give our
I'm bad
D&D
at drums.
characters the things that we are bad at in real life.
Yes,
Pretty much-
those are called your RPG languages.
Yes.
You give people what you want yourself. Exactly.
So literally
actually-
every major character I write in books or play in RPGs can play an instrument that I wish I could learn.
Yeah, come to think of it, I don't ever play a character that can actually play like a freaking woodwind of any kind. I'm always like, no, he plays the horn. He plays the drum. She plays the flute. The
my
viol
girl
or nothing.
Yeah, my girl that was the star of my debut, it actually is in the book that Eric and I wrote together, and the second book that Eric and I wrote together, and my book that's coming out next year, is an excellent pianist. I too once tried to learn to play piano, but I have freakishly tiny hands and like cannot physically play piano in
I
any.
have the opposite problem. My hands are large, they're just also slightly clumsy. So I'd get, oh, this is fun, this is fine, and then anything faster than like chopsticks and I was done for.
Yeah, no, I
Mhm,
like this is a regular size Pilot G2 pen. Like everyone knows the size of this, right?
Yeah.
My hands are freakishly tiny. No, Eric
I'm
has
sorry
seen
to
me
say
in
it,
person.
but
He's like,
baby
yeah, no,
hands.
your hands are weird. You're too small.
My hands are like twice the size of Amanda's hands.
True.
Like this is an iPhone, just for scale.
Eric
Like,
has large hands.
that's how big my hands are. iPhone 12.
Yeah.
My fingers go like
This
2
is
or
an
3 more inches.
S22. This is my hand.
Yeah.
This is the Jelly 2. It's the smartest phone. It's the smallest smartphone in the whole wide world
It's cute.
for reasons.
It's cute. It
It's
matches.
And it does. I can hold it and use it with the same hand, which like any other phone I can't do. No, this summer I'm gonna make Eric actually sail my boat,
Oh God.
because like he could actually handle lines and stuff in a way that I have to use tools and sometimes other humans to make work. Last summer we went out and it was great, but there was no wind. And so we just motored around and I showed him the supervillain lair under the bridge.
Nice.
But this summer I'm going to make Eric and my partner Andrew, I'm going to make them sail the boat. And then
Mhm.
Eric's wife and I are just going to sit and drink wine.
Yep.
Nice.
That seems reasonable. You'd have to remind me how to do everything. Like I have the sailing merit badge, but that was 25 years ago. So
I honestly, once the good thing about my boat is once the sail is up, she pretty much sails herself. Like
Mhm.
it's easy. It's super easy. But
That's
it's
good.
the like getting the sail up. I'm like, you know what? I could sit here and watch you do it.
Yes,
Sailing.
your partner will enjoy ordering me around. It'll
Yes.
be fun.
And I will enjoy drinking wine with your wife.
Yep. She is delightful. It's
She is
true.
lovely.
Yeah. All right, so I rolled up treasure that you grabbed off the train before it derailed.
We
Excellent.
like it.
And this is all stuff that Anji has. She might have given some to the party for safekeeping,
No.
or she might have not. So
no. I
anyway,
brought
I'll tell
Tarant-
you. I'll tell
yeah.
you when the game starts.
I brought Tarant with me specifically to hold things and be able to get me and also valuable things away from anyone who means us harm. He has one job on this ship, and it is affecting an escape. So with all of our stuff, because he thinks he's going to get a cut of it.
I just love the mental image of this like really cool monk who's like the shadows. He is the night. And then it's like, I've been roped into carrying shopping bags. What? Like,
was-
that's just
Yeah.
choice mental imagery.
I was telling Amanda that monks would make such great bodyguards because they're fast and they have good reaction times and they can deflect missiles.
Literally, D&D monks are made to just destroy action economy.
Yeah.
They're literally made to kill anything that opposes them and then chase down everything that tries to flee.
There are some people who get down on monks, and I played one in a group of my friends that aren't big into the monk thing. They're like, I'm not gonna play a monk. That's terrible. I'll play a fighter. Fighters are cool. I'm like, yeah, I'll play a monk. And I just shut down all of the mini bosses that we were fighting. And the
Because
GM
literally-
eventually started being terrified because I would go and I'd have like a movement of like 80 and I just whoop, 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 stun. And he's like, oh shit, my boss isn't going to do anything. I'm like, nope. And then the rest of the party just kills it before it can move.
Yeah, like the very first game I encountered a monk in, I was playing a rogue, and up to that point, they hadn't had a rogue to deal with.
Mhm.
And I was kind of playing counter to the party as my like initial thing was I was a minion, more or less. And I came in, I did my minion thing, and they were a little bit scared because that was the point of the character. I was supposed to come in and be like, oh, hello. And then it was, oh no. As soon as this monk got involved, I was like, you flipped the tables on me and now I am scared. How did you do this?
Yeah. All right, we are about at time to go to our commercial for the show. Jen will be here eventually, but until then, don't go away. We're going to be on in just a couple minutes.